I was at a company, and we were interviewing for an engineer. So we interviewed 5 great candidates. At the end, we're sitting around discussing the candidates. And the hiring manager says, well, so the group had come to a consensus. It was between 2 candidates. One was an African American female, one was a white male. The hiring manager said, well, I like the female candidate, but she went to Spelman.
Oh.
And this is in Atlanta. She
Sure.
went to Spelman. And then as everybody looked at him and says, well, and I'm the facilitator of the conversation.
Right.
So I says, say more about that. Well, I'm not sure Spelman is really a good school. I kind of like the other candidate because he went to Georgia Tech and got his mechanical engineering degree from Georgia Tech. Somebody on the panel, and it happened to be a white female, raised her hand and says, are you not aware that Spelman has an engineering program, a joint program with Georgia Tech? And if you go to Spelman and you want to be a mechanical engineer, guess where you take all your engineering classes?
Right.
At Georgia Tech. So her engineering degree and his engineering degree
equal.
is the same course.
Emory's the
She
same.
just has her diploma from Spelman and his from Georgia Tech. Oh, by the way, you do know Spelman is one of the top schools.
Right.
Now, how can you be, you say, well, gosh, he didn't mean anything, but how can you be in Atlanta?
Literally,
Not that.
literally in Atlanta.
We're not talking
Right.
about being in Wisconsin. How can you be in Atlanta and not know that? Because his bias was, I went to Georgia Tech. So, gosh, this guy reminds me of me. You understand what I'm saying? And so now you pass over what could be a future vice president at that company.
Sure.
Obvious. Well, good. The story at the end of the story is he did wind up hiring the female candidate, but not because she was a female or she was a female of color, because she was a person that could do the doggone job, and she just so you understand what I'm saying.
Sure.
But his biases prevented him from seeing that, and those biases show up. If you have not the wrong name, but if you have a certain name on a resume, you may not get.
Oh yeah, that's
you may not even
always
get
been
an interview.
Been a thing.
You show up at an interview, 6 to 8 months pregnant, you may not get the job. I can go on and on to tell you how biases prevent qualified superstars from getting hired, promoted, and developed because of individual biases.
Sure.
That's why that's why there's companies like me exist, to say, let me help you understand what you don't, this blind spot you don't see. And everybody knows what the blind spot is in a car. If you don't turn around and look, you won't see that car that's in your blind spot. That's what we try to help people do.